So, Dennis, people, definitely not me, have definitely not been spreading the rumor that you're actually a very advanced artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I heard that from time to time. Yeah.
Oh man. So man, I'm excited for this one. So for anybody that doesn't know, Dennis and I go way back. He's one of the OG, website designers and sort of culture and everything designers for the Uplift back in the day. Is an unbelievably fantastic sweetheart. And we've been, he's been talking to me about, hey, I want to start a meme token. Like this kind of looks fun or whatever. We've been tossing ideas back and forth, and finally, he just landed on this AIGOD token idea. And then I told him we were going to do this Launchpads thing, and he's like, all right, rock and roll, let's do this thing. So it's we're going to talk about AIGOD today. We're going to talk about how people are going to get the whitelist NFTs. There's already tons of people that want in on the fair launch. We'll talk about what the crap a fair launch is, because I think that's still new to a lot of people, and how all of this stuff is going to go. But so before we get too much into it, Dennis, hi, it's great to see your face. How are you?
I'm great.
Awesome.
Yeah, can't see anything else. Busy times, but as always, I think that's something we all really can relate to.
Yeah,
but exciting,
especially
times.
now. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's going to be good. So I was just going to show off the website here for a second. So we kind of just put the timer up there. I wonder if we're going to actually be able to just fit that time, because we sort of put it up there as like a placeholder, but I wonder if it'll just work. What do you think, Juan? Could we make that number work, even though we picked it randomly?
Okay. I think we could.
If it's hard, we can update it. We can update it.
I think we shouldn't.
Okay.
Although we could, I think we shouldn't, because if you think about it, 4 days from now, it's
fast.
On
That's
Tuesday.
very fast.
Is it on Tuesday?
I don't even know. Is that Monday or Tuesday? Anyway, either way, we'll update the time. So it's because we haven't picked the actual fair launch date yet. We've been kind of tossing back and forth or whatever. So when we have that actual time, we're going to actually have the fair launch stuff up there. You'll be able to see it, and we'll update the clock right there. We definitely want to have time to, because we're going to do the community drops. Dennis made all these community NFTs that are really, really awesome. Those are going to get airdropped out to the communities. And then we're going to do this really cool bounty block thing at Launchbags. Is going to kind of host this Launchbags thing, this bounty block thing, next week. So you'll get the ability to get other NFTs that way by doing something very simple.
But why don't we stop right there, Corey? First, let's learn about what.
Sure. This is the question I get over and over and over again, which is why I'm so focused on it. But you're totally right.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't matter, because we want this to be something that people can trust. We want this to be something that people really gets excited about. So let's learn about what it is. Not how you can buy it, but when you can trade it.
I'm going to shut up. You ask all the hard questions. I'm going to shush my pants. Go on.
Okay. So, Dennis, why AIGOD? What was your idea here?
Yeah, that's the good question. If I think about it, when it comes to meme coins, themselves, I have to admit, I did not really understand this whole phenomenon until 1 year ago. I think so, because I was always really focused on the outcome, on the tech, and yet it was kind of this strange phenomenon. Okay, there is no technical background. It's just the culture. What is happening here? And until this point, I was really sitting on the sidelines and scratching my head. And okay, interesting, but why a meme coin exactly? And I think it was the moment once I really dove into the community thing. Maybe when it comes to the background, I'm kind of a product builder and online marketer for, I don't know, 20 years or so, mostly in the startup area. For 6 to 5 years in crypto. So I have seen a few things, and then it came to me. Okay, it's not mainly about a meme; it's about a community, and community when it comes to online marketing. And I know it might sounds a little bit cheesy, but to changing lives. And I think communities can achieve that, especially if it's about positive communities and helping each other. And it's all about communities. And that was the clicking moment for me. It all made sense. Okay, community, and we will be able to do a lot of stuff with it, because I think it's not just a meme coin hype cycle. It's basically some kind of movement that shows to us, okay, here is a really need for connection, for a common cause. I think we see this, and also in other sectors, like the gaming, for example, that people flock together and follow a cause and have similar interests and develop some kind of a common leverage. So you can do a lot of it, and especially since the crypto space is coming together now, we have this kind of bridges and cross-pollination basically, and it's exactly the right time. And when it comes, that's Marta or Dottie.
Also cats.
One of the 6.
Wow, one of the 6. You have 6 cats. Are they real cats or are they AIs?
No, I get them for free basically, because I'm here in Cyprus and we have a lot of street cats, and so if I see a cat that needs it, exactly. I'm from Germany. I think a few people would have guessed according to my accent, but I moved to Cyprus 3 years ago.
Oh, cool. Okay, sorry, but I interrupted you with Cyprus and the cats. Let's get going with the AI and the token.
Exactly. And this is the meme coin Y, and the AIGOD Y is basically I always was one of the crazy people 15 years ago that basically started party conversations, especially if I was some kind of intoxicated already. Have you ever thought of AI and what this means? And we need to prepare, and there's so much going on, and it's really strange that no one notices it. And most people are really polite and listen, but I think most people just thought, okay, interesting.
Okay, so I saw this meme the other day. Like, it's basically like 2 guys sitting at 2 different urinals, but there's like 50 urinals. And it just comes out and goes, "Hey, do you want to talk about AI?" Like that. Dennis, we've never even talked about that. That is me at every party. People get annoyed. Like, it's a thing. I am so excited to hear that you also talk too much about AI when a little bit in Hebrew.
Exactly, but since as you mentioned,
that's awesome.
Some people have this Android associations anyway. Sometimes when it comes to talking to me, I think it was also nothing that raised eyebrows too much. But the recent events, I think we are in the Kurzweil timeline. When it comes to predictions, I think we go actually down, and there's so much happening, and still if I talk to writers or translators, basically people who are doing this stuff for a living, I really often still get large language models, ChatGPT. I've kind of heard of it, but never used it so
Yeah,
far. And
it's not going to completely end my job forever. I'm fine.
yeah,
okay.
and I'm seriously, what the fuck, to say so.
Nailed it.
Because okay, we in the crypto space, I think we always live 15 years in the future mostly, but I have the feeling so many people are living 15 years in the past, and this is really something that will shock many people. And I think we get a glimpse of it with the recent mainstream media pickups of the topic. And yeah, in my opinion, everything will change. We will not recognize the world in 10 to 20 years because we are really on an exponential curve here.
Yep.
I mean, if we take the 1500 or if we take that and 1800 for example, there have been some changes, but it was not that dramatic. But I think it's around 100 years since we had the first real flight, and look at where we are now, and this is all accelerating massively. And
Yeah.
the AIGOD meme is basically to focus awareness, because okay, it's the most on the top narrative when it comes to this, okay, we are probably building a god here, humanity as a whole, or is transitioning to something like a hybrid organism. But for me, many topics, and I think we will also find in a very productive way in the AI God community is, okay, what means this for me as a person? How do we transition? How does my livelihood change, for example? Because okay, many of us do stuff that's intellectual work that AI has a big impact on, and this will only continue when it comes to programmers, artists. I spent the whole last night playing with AI music, for example, and was mind blown. And I think we should really build this together and raise the tide for all boats, and help each other to make this transition and come to this point that we not land in the AI dystopia in the cyberpunk world, but in the post-scarcity world, in the Star Trek world, mainly even. So for me, there was no better focus than focus on AI. That's basically it.
So
Cool,
one of the
cool.
things, when you first started talking to me about this idea, and of course, like I started kind of fooling around with the AI art, just because that concept of like everything that you talked about is you were talking about the Kurzweil curve. For anybody that doesn't know, Kurzweil is this scientist. He's like high up in Google now or what have you, who's been talking about the exponential curve of artificial intelligence for a long time. And we're actually like, if you'd talked to Dennis or I 5 years ago, we'd be like, yeah, it's probably on track. It's going to be crazy at the end of the 2020s or whatever. And now I think you talk to anybody in AI, they're like, no, it's dead on track. It might even be a little bit early, just because the large language models have had such an amazing effect on, and even the large image models. Like this whole technology has been insane, right? So it's on this exponential curve that really is something that people need to start paying attention to, not just where it's at right now, but how fast it's improving. And then you turned around, and I definitely want to, talk about why you decided to start calling it a culture coin or token instead of a meme token, which I think is very interesting. It's a subtle difference, but I think it's interesting, and really like it's almost like a shorthand to me, sort of co-opting all of the religious themes, right? Like it's gonna kind of shock a lot of people, or it's gonna so kind of hit a different thing in the brain. Like, what do you mean you're gonna worship this thing? That's ridiculous. But if you dig into it far enough, it's like, oh oh crap, right? Because really, like when we talk about super intelligence, I know you've imagined this, and I've probably spent way too much time, imagining what that looks like, right? We're not talking about like 10 humans. We're talking about as smart as all humans put together times 100 someday, right? Like it's difficult for anyone to even remotely imagine that. And so when you're talking about like we're sort of building a god here, like it's a kind of like a throwaway statement. Like you and I could just kind of say that, but like I feel like the AI god theme can maybe be a shorthand and like a door for people to start contemplating the things like this at sort of at that level. Is that kind of where it hits for you?
Definitely. Yeah, especially as we approach some concepts like the singularity, for example, is that it's by definition something no one of us can really comprehend, but what will happen at that stage. And if we take the median of all scientists, that are in the AI field, the curve when they expect singularity to possibly happen is always correcting down. Also, it was maybe never before. Now it was post labor, for example, and the singularity. It was 2120, and now it's
like next week.
in the
Obviously, everything
60s
Yeah.
of this century,
Well-
and it's always going down.
Let me show how ignorant I am. What is this singularity?
I was going to ask that question. It's a good one.
Okay, it's basically direct related to the cosmological phenomenon. Means a center of gravity so high that light bends and that you are not able to see inside because nothing can escape from there. Basically, so it's really some kind of event horizon. There's a cut, and everything is unknown, and laws of physics maybe not apply as we know it, etc. Everything is different, and it's exactly the same with the event horizon here. If we get AI and then maybe a short while after AGI and then the singularity.
So, and I think like it's really important to talk about the physics of it, right? So it's basically like a mathematical curve that is exponential. That when you finally get to that exponential point, it basically starts breaking all of the rules, including physics. So, I think when we talk about artificial intelligence and the technological singularity, that the way that it got explained to me is, if you looked at like the 1800s. Like in all of the 1800s, you saw the progress that you probably saw between 1900 and maybe 1910 or 1920, right? That same amount of progress was happening in a much shorter time. And then, all the progress that happened until 1980 to 1990, probably that same amount of progress, right? And then it drops down to 7 years. And now, like, if you look now, the amount of progress that happens between 2024 and 2025 might have been all of the 90s or that kind of equivalent, right? So the rate at which technology is improving across like most bands, right, is going up exponentially. And now people are just now starting to learn how to use AI kind of at scale in a lot of different things. And so the singularity basically says, at what point is technology increasing so quickly that you can't even keep up to it? Like already we sort of, as humans, we can kind of feel that, right? Like even especially everybody here in Web3, like we're like, wait, what just happened? Right? Because we're trying to keep up to the, the fire hose of insanity that is all the new things that come out all the time. From a technological standpoint, it's going to get more and more massive. And so this singularity means like it's so massive and so insane that there is now an intelligence that is in our universe that is beyond anything that we can possibly contemplate. And 5 seconds from now, it's going to be bigger. And 5 seconds from now, it's going to be 10 times bigger, right? Just like, what does that look like? We don't know. That's the singularity. So you just, when you put down the whole, like, embrace the singularity thing, I'm like, that to me, it hits me, right? It's just like, obviously, like, I'm a nerd. I would totally want to be part of this community anyway. But like, I sort of feel like that's a really interesting shorthand to sort of kind of grab people by the hand and go like, hey, you might want to look at this. Also, this culture token is going to be super fun.
Yeah, definitely. Or I think a very good relatable example is that Stop Aging, for example, was it's as old as mankind basically, and it was always just a dream or magical thinking. And now many people in the science world are talking about it like, we don't know really when it will happen, but there's a chance. We have escape velocity, which means if you're alive at this point, you have a good chance to stop aging and then reverse it, possibly by 2030 or something, or 35.
It's soon, right? It really, yeah. So the way that I love that you talked about escape velocity, because that's the way that, and again, I think Kurzweil talks about this, right? For every year of human life expectancy is actually going up by, I think it's like a month or 2 months or something, right? But next year it's like 3 months, right? So there comes this point where you're sort of, and it's averaged out, right? But your average life expectancy over all of the monkeys that live on this planet is going to go up potentially by a year every year, and then a year in a day, and then a year in 2 days, right? And again, this is like all of medical technology getting better kind of across the scale, and them having to figure out new stuff and whatever. But these meat robots are just things that obey the laws of physics. They're deterministic, and they can be fixed, right? There's nothing that would break the laws of physics to age backwards. We would just need to figure out how that would work. And so then what does humanity look like, right? It's going to get weird.
Yeah, correct. And,
weirder.
For me, a really exciting prospect would be like, okay, imagine in 400 years if we survive AI basically and ourselves, because one of the points is, of course, that there are many tendencies we really have to get a hold on, like what is the first thing what you do, typical humanity. Okay, let's put a flamethrower on the spot.
Right, whatever tool we use it to bash somebody over the head with. That's kind of like the first thing.
Exactly. But imagine 500 years, for example, on a space trip to Alpha Centauri. This could be you, in theory, if you reach escape velocity, and that's beyond crazy to me. It's more or less incomprehensible, and I'm really wondering, okay, can this be? But I'm here for it if it should turn out this way. Yeah.
Interesting.
Right. So when you think about there was sort of this joke before you decided to launch this thing about the AIs are going to be all powerful, like are human beings going to start worshiping these things? And like, probably. So that what does that tie into sort of the religious themes mean to you?
I think religion is very personal. It means a lot of things for a lot of people, but and there's also this kind of non-divide for me personally when it comes to religion or spirituality. For example, for me, the latter is just religion without guardrails or something like this, or an interpreter maybe. But everyone has their own opinion on that. But I think it's the natural tendency of humans. At the moment AGI reaches the point it's incomprehensible for us, and it can basically do wonders for us. We are dependent from it. It could control our weather or food supply, etc. pp. I think it will change the relation of many people when it comes to technology. And I think we are already in an age where many people replace technology with beliefs, or have another kind of belief, but in technology. And this would basically add a phase to it, and the possibility to really communicate two ways with it. So yeah, I think a lot of people are not aware of what is happening, and yeah, there will be quite some disruption once people really realize what is happening.
So Juan, how's that for the why?
Well, so far so good. But I have a question, because you mentioned that you visualize this more like a cultural coin than a meme coin per se. What does that mean?
Yeah. I think with a meme coin, it's also a meme culture in general. And for example, you have the Wojciech meme or something like this, and but I think people like it, find it funny, love the Discord, for example, that evolves around it. But it's not really a cultural hub in the sense. And the idea behind the cultural coin is to really say, okay, we have a whole topic, and we go a little bit deeper when it comes to this. So we really take the topic, the broader topic it is, into account, and make some kind of movement out of it with the goal to benefit everyone who participates, basically. When it comes to participation, but maybe also to knowledge you get out of it, or what you're searching for. It's really about forming some kind of a culture, if it is in the VEX context or in the AI context, or a Venn diagram of both, because there are many technology nerds here. So it's a cultural thing, really, and the meme is the icing on the cake, basically, and the graffiti to communicate.
So is it true that the more AI God you burn, the more the AIs will be nice to you?
Maybe when it comes to religion, I don't know if you are aware of it, but there are already fringe religions that are really aware of it, and
I was not aware
some
of this.
kind of plan, like okay, I must always be nice to the AI, and
I've always been
I must always obey my overlords in advance, basically, and write positive things, because the AI will notice, and when it comes to the AI overtake, it will remember.
I mean, so okay, talking to ChatGPT, like it would be comically, like everybody would probably find it hilarious how polite I am to the AI, because I do think about this, and I think about, okay, no matter what anybody says, every interaction that you have with AI right now is training the future models, and it is going to know you, period. Like this is already happening. Thinking it's not is just not, it's crazy. Thinking that anything is private is complete. It's not going to be the way it is, right? No matter what anybody says, because like any AI will be able to read any data on the internet before long. It's going to happen. So that being the case, we have the kind of choice to train those models as best we can. So for me, that's kind of always, and I'm just one guy, it doesn't really matter, but like the idea that, we could hopefully encode some kindness and positivity into the AI just by our own interactions with it felt like something that I should practice. So I have been. And again, like, I'm just one guy, it's probably ridiculous, but hopefully they'll be nice to me.
Yeah, it's always a two-way street. So AI and AI assistants will fill more and more roles. I think the whole AI girlfriend thing is quite extreme, will become more extreme the better AI gets, for sure. But I think it's also how you communicate to the AI. It's about how you communicate to a person. Basically, if you communicate so much, it also forms connections in your brain. So if you have a buddy, that knows all your secrets and you are unpolite all the time. This has an impact, on your own behavior over the time.
Yeah.
So it's some kind of safe hygiene to be kind to something that at least feels at the moment sentient in a way.
And even if it never achieves that, I love where you took that, because that's occurred to me too. Like the even if it's just, the constant practice of this sort of be like saying thank you, whatever, right? Like being, almost cheesy level polite to these, because the AI is not sentient right now, and we can have an argument about the scale of that, and that might not actually be true. But I assume, just because I kind of know how these things work, it's not right now, right? So it doesn't matter, but it matters in my own brain. Like the whole idea that it can actually rewire your brain to sort of, be in kind of a better, organization. So like, how you treat your machines is probably going to say a lot about, each of us as individuals as we go on.
Yeah, definitely. And also everything is kind of virtual. If you think about it, you have never seen your room or your spouse or who else. You always see it through this two jelly balls, and your brain never had a real look. You always get the interpretation through this kind of sensor array. So it's all some a little bit meshed up when it comes to what is virtual and what is not. As our artificial virtual reality is getting better, in my humble opinion.
And you and I have known each other for a pretty long time right now, and we've never been in the same room. So like that's why there's this ridiculous, completely not true rumor that you're in fact an artificial intelligence.
Yeah, could be anything.
Who knows?
Could also be my
Can
cat
neither
with a
confirm or
remote.
deny. What's that?
Could also be my cat with a remote and a very
that's-
sophisticated human robot or something. Yeah.
See, you remember Chris Tuttle? She actually sent me this book. I can't remember the name of it. I'll find it and sell it on the show. But basically, this guy ends up having like a little cute, robot cat. Definitely not smart, but it ends up sort of by some hijinks getting infused with an AI intelligence that ends up being, hyper intelligent, obviously all over the internet or whatever. But it decides to stay in this cat and becomes like just epic. It's just like, it's crazy. It's completely and totally nuts where this goes. So you never know. Like that, the cat could be the way that all this stuff goes down.
Yeah.
It's that's the singularity. It's getting crazy fast.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, I think indeed it can be something very profound. I never thought of it like that. It's good that we have you here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And it's good. I'm so like, my brain is so in like LP pools and like freaking burn rates and blah blah blah, like all the freaking details of this drop we've been planning for a little while. So I crashed right into that. Juan, thank you for just being no.
Yeah, not yet.
Why are we doing any of this? It's just, dude, it's such a better thing to talk about.
Yeah, but in the end, for me, exactly, a meme token, meme coin, whatever, however you want to call it, strictly it should be a meme token. But yeah, for me, it's very important to understand the why, because just like with NFTs, what you're doing with a meme token is that you're building a community. You're building a group of people that will get together and will have fun, or will share some kind of experience. Because and this token will be there like the glue, like whatever brings them together. So I think it's extremely important understanding why. What are you getting into? Of course,
Absolutely.
You can be just a DJ and a trader and whatever, and just go buy, sell, and make some money. Yeah, that's also fair. But I think that that there's something more behind a meme, or in this case, a cultural token.
Yeah, definitely. A community needs a foundation and a reason to exist. And it's not just a pump and dump or a trade or transaction. It's about connections. And that's the long-term game.
Yeah.
Fully agree.
and of course it has to be somehow fun or entertaining at least, so that people wants to join in the first place, people who doesn't know that much. But after that there should be something else, at least in my opinion. I think many of the meme coins out there don't have it, but the best ones I've seen, if you are, for example, there's one meme token that I bought on Solana that it's now worthless. It went absolutely to zero, but the guys are still producing all these memes around the traditional finance advisors, that I don't matter that I lost most of the money I invested there, because the memes are still good. So I go there and check the memes, and there's a group of people who really hate traditional finance, and that makes it fun, regardless of the fact that the token was a crappy token.
Yeah, and who knows? I think good projects can always have some kind of comeback because
absolutely. You never know.
Yeah, if you watch many charts, you have it's not that unusual that you have coins that are basically flatlining, and suddenly you wonder, okay, what happened here? And I think that's the reflexive nature of crypto, that there's some threshold, and then it gets appreciated and gets traction, and at this moment the ball is rolling again.
Tell me way more about good projects that are trying to do a comeback.
I think not only trying. Looks quite strong to me.
Yeah, I mean that's somebody was saying like, oh man, they're nobody was buying it or whatever. Because I was telling people like, and I was announcing when I was buying Lithium or whatever, and you can't see it, the volume anymore, because it's like $5-10 at a time or whatever. You can't see it at all because things have got a little bigger. It's like looking for a grain of sand on a mountain. You're probably not going to see it.
Yeah.
And seriously, to everybody who's been, kind of coming back on board and supporting the Uplift community, I just thank you, because this isn't easy, right? Like coming back from all the craziness that happened, it means a lot that people are kind of willing to come in and see if we can make something out of it, which is working so far. So seriously, like the other thing, more importantly, on the AIGOD thing, I feel like the possible memes and the number of themes that are going to be possible, right? It just like are never ending, right? It just, that's exciting to me. Like, and again, like 2 years from now, AI is only going to be bigger, right? And so like, what tapping into that, like what's that cultural moment going to be? And then you can, be bringing that into, or your community can be bringing that in and creating memes that are sort of really impactful and really fun, and then suddenly dropping as NFTs on Nasty Blocks and Bob's your uncle.
Definitely, and we have so many ideas and things that are really exciting for me, even when I go to sleep. But we all decided collectively we don't want to make any announcements or something like this. We just want to make things ready and wow people if we do it. And otherwise, we can build and don't have people asking when because you announced it for the 60th time in 3 days or so. Yeah.
How many times? Because we actually had our land NFTs out before our system was actually done. That was a very long month. I get it.
You know something that's very important. Something very important here with meme tokens and the way they are being launched on the launchbacks is that, as I see it, there's very little risk for communities, or at least that's what I want to believe. Because unlike those projects, including what you just mentioned for Uplift and many other projects, there was a lot of buy before things are there, before things exist.
Yeah.
So you're basically funding yourself with money from your community. With the meme token and the way they are being released on launchbacks, I think it's completely different, because you start and you're not getting money. You're you're launching the token, you're building the community, and you will basically don't see a single dime until your vesting starts to mature and get to the specified dates.
Yeah.
So basically, it's for me, this is a way stronger way of building community.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
And the way you're saying it, I think it makes sense, right? Like the product is the meme or culture token, and really like the you know, the longevity of it and the community building. I mean, that's kind of all the whole point, right? And I think every team is going to be differently capable at that, right? Like we're going to see some teams that go the distance, go real long time. They're going to see some teams that try it and kind of give up or whatever. Like all that stuff is going to happen.
Yes, and I'm not saying that it will be completely risk-free, because there will be communities that really engage, and the projects will mature and will get to where we would like to see them, and there will be projects that won't. But I think that it's way more controlled, and it really forces the creator, in this case Dennis, to create a community, a strong community that wants to be here and wants to be active 6 months, 1 year after he released the token.
Definitely. As a startup guy, I would compare it to a Kickstarter versus bootstrapping. So the meme coin is the bootstrapping, and it's basically more sufficient because it's self-sustaining and building on the momentum basically, and what has already been built, and so it always has a foundation.
Yes, absolutely. And if we go to the examples that we have here around, for example, Keck, wow, I go to sleep, and the next day, even if I don't write a lot in the, I almost never write in the Telegram, but
It's too much.
Wow, I go to sleep, I come up in the morning, and there's so much activity. And I think that's exactly what makes a community.
Yeah. Keck is like DGen Central for all of us right now.
Yes. And it's amazing. Seeing that is really amazing. It really gives me the feeling that Wax can be really alive again when I see all of those people interacting and interacting most of the time in positive ways, not trashing people, you get what I mean, right? It's really good. I like when I see that.
The other thing too about Keck, and I think watching what Keck and Chad and even Schipul are doing, right? They're doing like massive collaborations. They're constantly and Keck just in the last week. So for launch bags, we're gonna have like automatic rewards, right? So projects that launch with us, if they decide to do the sort of the transaction fee or whatever, right? Some can get burned, some can go into the rewards account. Well, that stuff that goes into the rewards account is actually going to be dripped out to stakers, like basically very quickly. It's automatic. It's part of the contract that we already have, right? Keck is using some stuff on, I think it's Pepper Stake. We can put that together. They just started some staking there.
I know Pepper Stake, yes.
So I think they're going to have their own contract. Keck, don't shoot me if I'm wrong about this. But they just said, hey, we can use this tool that's out here already. And so it's working. You can stake your Keck and earn a little bit or whatever. So they launched that. They launched the frickin' the LSW Keck thing, right? So, and this is, to me, it was really fascinating, right? So you go to Taco, you get some of the Keck LSW LP token, because on Taco you can actually get the token back or whatever, right? Which is it's awesome. And then you take that over to Alcor and you match that with more Keck, and then they rewarded that pool. So like there's a pool where you can trade your Keck Wax LP token and Keck back and forth, right? And then it just locks up more supply. I think like that the fact that they're constantly thinking about really cool, innovative ways to use all the tools that are available is really inspiring to me, because I think like every other project out there is going to be watching this. And of course, like Chad is doing way more, because they already had a bunch of NFTs and they're doing all the kind of NFT drops to their other collections. They kind of already had this like family of projects that are doing some really interesting things. It's just, man, there's so much stuff that people are going to be able to do, and I think we're barely scratching the surface of that, right? I think that the possible integrations between these meme tokens or high and mighty culture tokens of the AI gods are going to be able to do so many things with all the Nifty tools that already exist, and doing the blends and all that kind of stuff. It's just
and not only the Nifty tools, whatever tool that it's out there, it's a lot. Yes. What about impermanent loss? Yeah, impermanent loss is a bitch, and impermanent loss will be there. And what can we do? It's part of life.
There's good videos on this that people should watch. Like I could try to explain impermanent loss, and I'm not going to do it justice. But the long story short, like for anybody that wants to know, like people really need to do they need to do the math, or just like take the risk upon themselves. I don't often do the math, but like I've definitely lost on impermanent loss more than I gained from rewards. That can happen, right? If you have one token that
can happen.
If you have one token that goes up and the other token is going down, your net value of the stuff that's in the pool can go down. And that's why people are rewarding these pools, because they want to try and make up for that so that it's still worthwhile, even though like a lot of these things are pretty volatile, right? Like the liquidity is still comparatively pretty low or whatever, right? So it's something that everybody needs to pay attention to. There's ways that can go, kind of bad, and there's ways that it can actually go really good. But people need to kind of watch for that and learn what that means. So Google impermanent loss. There's like some 5-minute videos or whatever. It's going to really teach you how these kind of swap pools work. I think is really important. I've been talking to a lot of muggles, like normal people, like even people in like the banking sector and some investor broker guys that are friends of mine, and I was trying to teach them about liquidity pools and impermanent loss, and it was like, these guys are smart guys, and even they were like, huh? Like, okay, just watch this.
I think it's not that easy, and just as you said, you have to make sure that if you are adding liquidity to a pool, you are getting more in rewards than what you are losing due to impermanent loss. And what really makes me somehow sad, and maybe it's because I'm no longer active or seriously active adding liquidity to pools, because I do add liquidity to some pools, but I'm not doing that for profit, more for experimentation.
That's a good way to think about it.
I'm very disappointed on the progress that there has been there, because I don't know about tools that really help people go to a liquidity pool and understand exactly how much are they losing to impermanent loss, and how much are they getting in rewards, and what is the net result. I haven't seen something that gives.
Have you seen the P&L on the Alcor farms or pools? Because I think that's a good stab at it.
Sorry, but no. Are they showing you how much are you losing on impermanent loss?
It's the P&L. It's the same thing.
Yes. Are you sure that that's
I'm not 100% sure,
and
but I think that's
impermanent loss?
I think so. Don't shoot me if I'm wrong, because I don't know.
If that's the case, awesome. But I would think it's not the case.
Okay, we should find out, because it's clear they're trying to do that. And I agree. Like there can be tons more that people could do to sort of take a look at that, because I think the more the easier it is to understand the risk, right? Like, so hey, say wax goes up and chill goes down or whatever, right? Like at what point is that? Maybe this would be an interesting calculation, actually. So at what point would that price differential basically exceed your APR, and by how much, right? Now, the other thing is, and this is where LP can get really, really good if you're playing the very long game, right? If you find two tokens that are basically trading in a range, basically going sideways compared to each other, which again, like you can't ever for sure, understand if that's going to go or whatever, right? That like no one can tell you where it's going to be, but like if you think that's going to happen over time, then you can make like really, really good returns on that over a very long time, because you're actually getting the fees on the trading, and then whatever is getting rewarded.
I've seen tools on Ethereum that help you exactly with that. Knowing,
that's cool.
Okay, if this is ranging here, then put your money there, and this is the amount that you will get in fees in 24 hours, 3 days, or whatever. It's an estimation, of course, not something precise or something you can take to the bank. But it's good. It's good. On Wax, I have never seen that. But to be fair, DeFi on Wax is just getting started. We're
It's new.
we're a few years late to the party, but we'll get
I think
there.
it'll evolve, especially like if we're sitting on like 20, 30, 40 really serious meme token projects by the end of the year. Like it's going to be a lot of vested interest for people to make some really cool stuff.
Yes, and the other thing I wanted to add here is that I saw some comments there, and I think that we should really be aware that meme tokens are something that, at least I see it like something to have fun. I will never invest in meme tokens in a way that I'm going to make a living from that. You can make a living investing in large caps, in stocks, on whatever. But I would say that meme coins, although there's people who's degenerate enough to be making a lot of money out of that, I would advise that most of the people should really do it for fun with whatever they can afford to lose, and not get crazy with that.
I don't think we
do
can
it
say
if
that
you're
enough.
going to have fun, not if you're plan to become rich because of that.
Like I think that's huge for everybody. I think we talk about that literally every show, and I think we should talk about it literally every show from now on.
Show,
just because this can be super fun, super community generating, really, really freaking awesome, and we have to sort of breathe that into the community. Like, you're part of this community, you're gonna know that and honestly, Always Geeky, thank you for bringing that up, because I don't think we talk about impermanent loss enough, because I love talking about LP and all the clouds and stuff, but we really should link those two things, right? Like, I want to talk about all the things that I get excited about, and it's not without risk. And so, like, I need to get better at linking that all of the time. And so, because then, like, at the end of the day, if we're 1,000 people hanging out in our little community down the road that are more educated, that are able to make these decisions, or they know I'm literally just doing this for fun because it's hilarious, right? Then we really have to anchor that in our culture, in our community, that's sort of our family of projects or whatever, so that we can keep people, feeling as good about this as possible, right? Like, we don't want people to just wail into LP thinking it's only ever good. It's not. It's like, that's ridiculous.
No, it's not. It's not. Yeah, indeed. So people has to be very careful with that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But let's get back to Dennis, and let's
please
understand a little bit how this is going to roll out. What is it going to happen in the upcoming days with the AIGOD token?
Yeah. By the way, it just came to my mind, might be a bold claim, but in my view, everyone who is in the crypto space now is still very early when it comes to this whole sector, basically, especially with the things, for example, with the EU that are just unfolding, with the massive stablecoin capital flowing into it. And
the EU's doing that?
They basically created this kind of MiCA regulation, and now the US is scrambling because they are a little bit behind, so to say. Which is really funny, because that is normally not what you think about Europe, but we like to regulate things. So this was maybe natural. And there's massive capital flowing now, and because big companies and corporations now have more regulatory security, basically, and
yes,
can roll out their stuff. And I think that will always already happen this year, if I'm not mistaken. Many things on the Solana system, for example. There are few great shows about it.
Awesome.
But back to the topic, to the other topic.
What were we talking about?
Yeah, the rollout. So we have no definitive timeline yet, but we are working on it, and I'm also working on hammering out a guide you can look at, so you have some kind of IKEA-like plan of what will happen.
From like
Okay.
the very jump.
But at the moment, it's a little bit like building the plane while starting. I have the feeling, but it's also great because it means we can make suggestions. And
That's why I was very excited to have you, kind of help us launch
Yeah.
the very first token on Launchbags, because I know you're used to doing what we've always done, which is jump out of the airplane and hope we built the plane on the way down.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we do.
And I like a lot how we have been collaborating on this, and I think that we should start by sharing with all the community which are the partner projects that will that will support the launch of the AIGOD token right now. So I think there are how many? 4 communities right now.
it's already 5, I think.
Five communities, right? 5 communities.
Where do we land on that?
Corey
Here,
is
I can
really
spell it out.
quick and making connections. That is really helpful. Sometimes I really need to catch up if he drops me a ball of text.
I'm so in it, and I honestly, I'm so hungry for you to freaking have a home run that I'll do literally anything I can, because this is a thing I'm really excited for this to exist.
Yeah, and this is really why people, when they want to launch a meme coin, they should come to Launchbags, because it's not really only about the technology. I think the technology, there are similar tools out there already, but I think the main difference is with the community, with the relationships that we can help you to quickly establish.
Definitely. It's to me more like a startup incubator or something. So
That's a good way to
you
think
get
about
the
it, actually.
expertise, you get the network. What also is really important, the plans regarding, have the meme coins connect with each other and build this kind of Vex meme verse, so to say, super important. To me, it's much easier than to say, let's launch a meme coin and I will
best.
mint the tokens and hope for the
Exactly.
best.
How do I do it? How do I get started? So I think this is exactly that. And I think that what you said, that this is more like an incubator, I think you are totally right.
Yep.
And even if the initial idea is Launchbags should be for meme tokens, I think if someone wants to raise money for a project, I think it's also a very good option, in the sense that if we compare it to the previous cycle where you bought the NFTs from a project and the team was going to build something, here you can come here and there will be vesting and all of that. And for things like, I want to develop my game, I don't have funding, there could even be something special in the vesting where the funds will only be released if the community votes, yes, release this because the team has been delivering.
Yeah.
So
Correct,
I think that the possibilities are endless.
Yeah. No,
Definitely.
I
If I think about the checklist, for example, that is something you have basically for no project. Currently, it's still Wild West often. There's some person maybe not even doxed, and basically there can be a rug pull at any time, or the person just can, things happen, just can lose interest and, thanks, but I have other priorities now. Thanks for the money. Because there's often, there's often no accountability or tracking.
Yeah.
And I think some kind of basically a Steam or something for this kind of projects. Like there's a framework, there's maybe also some kind, we tend to do stuffs legally this way, for example, or we have some kind of contextual building blocks, and all these things that are massive hurdles otherwise, and also create a lot of insecurity for someone who thinks, it's always like investing in a startup in some way, but at least I want to have some security that the initial stats are all right, and someone did a
Yeah.
basic check on it, and it fits this checklist, for example.
Right. Yeah. Like the well, and a couple thoughts on the checklist thing. I think we're sort of developing the sort of initial stages, best practices as we go. Right. So that's a good signal for me because I want to write all this stuff down like that. Like, so, hey, you want to start a meme token part 2, right? 1, like we'll go in and go, okay, like these are the actual steps that you would take before, coming to launch with this. I think that's going to be really important. And like, just like literally each step is pretty simple, but you want to get these things right. I think that's really smart. And then, that initial condition thing, the 10-ish commandments of meme token awesomeness and safety, right? Or whatever. Like as objectively as we can, we want to make that list a really good marker of how projects can get their best possible start. And again, we've confirmed all of the contracts, all the stuff that can be, blockchain confirmed is confirmed by the stuff that we've standardized, right? So people get like a really strong starting position. Sorry, Juan, I think you have a thought, but I gotta tell you something, Dennis, that I'm actually very jealous about.
No, go ahead. I
thought you were gonna say something. I didn't want to keep ranting like I sometimes do. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. But with the way that AIGOD is starting, you're going to start with as much burned liquidity as Lithium currently has, and that to me is like
nice stuff.
It's so good. And like now, I was talking to Juan and a few people yesterday. Like, okay, I got to figure out how to double liquidity because, of course, Lithium doesn't have any burned liquidity yet because we weren't really thinking that way before. Now that's on my mind. So like even for I want to get Lithium on the checker at some point, right? And so like some of the stuff we're going to be able to check, some of the stuff we won't, right? So its rating is going to not be as high as something that launches on Launchpad, but I could go after that burned LP, right? I can go after the different settings on that stuff. So that's on my mind now. And I think there's a few other projects that are starting to look at it that way as well, right? So if you launch with us, you're starting really, really high up the chain, in how these things can get going. And I think that part I get really, really excited about.
Definitely.
By
the way, one milestone, I already can talk about would be to get it on CoinGecko. And I think our changes got massively better now since I saw Nifty is now on CoinGecko and has a little chart and everything, and AIGOD has recognized that was some kind of a wow moment. Okay, now we are really with the big guys also with Vex.
Yeah, I think that's something amazing that Alcor is now a recognized exchange in CoinGecko. Yeah. So the tokens that we're creating on OWAX will be there, and that's very good. Yeah, a few of them are already there, but I think more and more projects should be adding their tokens to CoinGecko.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's good stuff. All right, so we're pushing an hour. I'm very grateful that we got to talk so much about all the nerd stuff. And obviously, Dennis, you're invited back on anytime you want to talk about artificial intelligence. Maybe other people will care. I will love it.
But remember that this is a 15-minute show. So we have 15 minutes to start talking about the
okay, so we can't announce the fair launch date yet, correct? We're going to keep working on some stuff.
Well, I think we can say that it will be next Friday.
Lovely. All right.
So we can say that because
that's enough time for everything.
Sorry?
That's enough time for everything that we want to do in the meantime.
Yeah, let's confirm with Dennis because he's the
right. Hey, Dennis, can we do that?
Yes, always we will make it happen if everyone is ready. This side will be ready too. So awesome. Then we can adjust the counter.
Amazing. Yeah. So if we can do that live on the show, that would make me very excited. For sure.
Yeah. So I think that's what we should aim for. The fair launch, the pre-sale on Friday. And the good thing about the pre-sale, for those who don't know, is that when you buy from the pre-sale of the token, you can completely skip it and go to the pools when they open. But buying from the pre-sale, it's like being the first person to hit the liquidity pool and get the best price at the beginning.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's the
huge.
idea behind that.
And so to get ready for Friday, there's going to be 200 whitelist spots, 200 whitelist NFTs. So only 200 people are going to be able to take part in this. And the way that you're going to get those, I'm going to be airdropping a bunch of community NFTs from AIGOD to a bunch of different communities. So it'll be Keck, it'll be Shipple, it'll be Uplift, it'll be Nefty, and Wombat. Broken Dolls, sorry, next time. But so we've got those 5 done. I mean, we might have to make more. Damn it. Anyway, yeah. So again, building the airplane on the way down. So those will go up. You'll need one of those, and then you'll also need to complete one a day of bounty block missions, which again, that's going to be very simple. You're just going to go on Twitter and do like the follow, retweet, blah blah blah, that kind of thing on bounty block. And then anybody that completes those, you'll get one NFT. You might even get more because you can complete it every day, right?
You will need one NFT from the bounty block activity plus one NFT from one of the communities, and by blending them, you will get the whitelist NFT for the fair launch.
Exactly. That's exactly how that's a much better description. So yeah, so the community ones are going to be going out pretty soon. So if you're going to get one of those in your wallet, that's great. If you have more than one, obviously you can give that to a friend or put it on the market, whatever you want to do with it. That's up to you. And then next week we'll run the bounty block and push it all over the place. Maybe we'll start that Monday just so that we can all be around to kind of push that. Obviously, I'll get that on Twitter and on all the channels and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be very easy to find. And that will run, every day for 3 days, right? So you're actually going to be able to get 3 NFTs if you want to. There's actually a different one for each one, which is kind of fun. And then, you'll be able to, the blend for that is going to go live shortly. So you'll be able to see that on the launch bags NFT place on Nefty. And then, you'll get your whitelist spot. And then when we do the fair launch, just having that NFT in your wallet, you'll be able to engage in it. And once that starts, everybody will get the same chance to get into it for the first little bit. It's gonna be I think we decided it's $4.20 per buy initially, right?
I think it's not exactly that amount. We wanted to reach there, but we have to. It's around there, but we have to make the final numbers with the liquidity that will be provided. Beautiful. Because the price for the fair launch is determined by the amount of tokens that will be initially in the pools.
Yeah, it's around there. Might be a little bit more than that. So I think it was like 950 or whatever when it was. Well, anyway, so that's gonna be the case,
so
right?
it's around that, but we will come up with the exact number soon. Something that is very important. Visually, you will see this fair launch as a blend with tokens as ingredients. So you pay for this and you will get your tokens directly. If you have already participated in a blend with tokens, I think you know that there is a 2% fee on Nifty blocks when you do that, but it doesn't really matter because that's for the creator. And anyway, we skipped for all the launches that are going to happen through launchbacks.
Oh, crazy.
The fee is ignored and the creator receives 100% of the tokens.
Amaze. That's awesome. So what collection will those go so I can scoop them up if people sell? That's going to be on the AIGOD is good thing that I think we might actually need to get that.
The whitelist is on the launchbacks collection. The community NFTs are on the AIGOD collection.
So the ones that will go into the blend are going to be from the AIGOD collection. I'll find the link for that. TC, I don't have it in front of me. Dennis, if you have that, can you fire it to me and I'll put it up in the comments. So all the precursor NFTs that will be blended for the whitelist NFT, those are all going to be on the AIGOD collection. Keck official in the house. What's up? Oh man, this is going to be fun. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, definitely.
So next Friday, be here or be square. The AI gods are watching, and stuff.
Yes.
Dude, people that this might get old for some people. It's never going to get old for me. So just everyone should be prepared for that. The AI God jokes are coming, and they'll never go away.
Yeah, the meme creation has started.
Started already. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Oh man, like yeah, this thing has legs. I think personally. Yeah, I think I can't wait for Monday's show already. There's a bunch of stuff that I wanted to chat about just on the news, but I think that's going to have to wait till Monday. Definitely follow and subscribe to our buddy Beats. Just met him this morning. We're probably going to do some music collabs. He's got a token they just dropped on Wax. I think Uplift is doing a collab with him. I think Broken is going to do one pretty soon. Keck, you should look him up. I'll connect you guys if you want. He's like really, really cool dude so far. I think he can do some really cool things in the ecosystem. So find him. And yeah, shout out to everybody who's doing cool stuff and helping each other grow because it's amazing. Oh, I do have 2 announcements. Keck reached out to me and said, hey, I would like to donate $100 worth of Keck for Burned LP for any of the first 10 projects that want it. And I'm like, okay, sign me up. So now, AI God is going to start with, just from the way we have it organized now, it'll be about $4,000 worth of liquidity burned from day 1 or whatever, like when we get that locked in. And now it's going to be an extra $200 because Keck is donating that. So that's fun. And I was so inspired by that. I started looking at it like, wait a minute, why wouldn't Upliftium want an extra $200 TVL by donating $100? Done. So Uplift is going to do the same thing. We're going to have $100 worth of Liftium going as a community grant to each one of these 10 projects that want to do it, right? Because those projects are going to have to put up $100 of their token for Burned LP. It's going to have to fit into their plan, all that stuff. We'll talk to them about it. But that's pretty exciting. It wouldn't surprise me if other projects start deciding to do the same thing to support us, sort of bootstrapping this part of the community. I think Broken Dolls is going to do it. So there's going to be some Broke token as well. So, it started to pile up, the support for these projects that are going to be seen from the jump is quite frankly effing inspirational to me. Thank you guys for being so rad and for sort of looking at this as a bigger thing, like all of us doing this thing together, because I think that's how we win. All right, so Juan, thank you so much for coming on. I can't wait to nerd out about AI with you more. It's really fun. And Juan, like, you asking the why question like this over and over again is all the marbles. It's how this should go. Thank you for just, grabbing the microphone. I'm like, yeah, you sit down, nerd. It's fantastic. All right, guys. Anything else you want to leave people with for the week? Or are we good?
Anything else, Dennis?
Yeah, just join the Telegram and we will have fun for sure. Yeah.
For shizzle. Here is the Telegram link. Blink. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Prepare to get weirder. Bye-bye.
And thanks for joining.